This is a Cal B and Rocko cat. Shout out to Two Bike Mike and his beautiful little cat who passed away. Okay folks, today it's called the bridge, too high. I will demonstrate. You can see here how the strings are hitting the back of the bridge. And they should never do that. I'll show you another close-up on the high string side. It's causing all kinds of friction. Mind you, the tuning's staying okay, but this is something that's an accident waiting to happen. So I'm going to take Two Bike Mike's advice, and I'm going to try to lower the bridge. Be right back. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to use this bit of cloth, even though I see the bridge screws are already worn through a little bit. Someone raised this bridge in order to accommodate their higher gauge strings, I guess. So I'm going to try and lower it a couple turns just to see what happens. Okay, give that one full turn. I'm going to do the same here on the other side, on the high side. Okay. Alright, now that's not enough apparently. I'm going to have to go a bit further. Second full turn on both posts. Okay. Nearly bottomed out now, but the improvement's already starting. Okay, last little bit here. I've got maybe one more turn, so I'm going to try to bottom out the bridge and see what happens. There we go. Okay. Now I can tell that the bridge is well lowered, and I'm beginning to see that the strings have come off the ends a bit, but they're still wearing in. So it's about as far as I can take this. I'm going to tune this up and see what's happened to it. Okay, so the bridge lowering has worked. It has eased the friction somewhat, although it hasn't solved the problem completely. I think roller saddles will do that. So I'm going to do that next. However, it has lowered my action down so far that it's the slinkiest this particular has ever been. So that's a good thing. Now, one last thing to do on Repairs Monday is an old friend's going to come back from the Squeakery, and we'll see if we can fix it using an old-fashioned method. So just be right back. Okay. This is the Squeaker GCB95, as you can hear. Every time I try to use it, it squeaks like crazy, and it actually makes using the loft almost impossible. So I'm going to see if an old-fashioned from Canadian Tire wheel bearing and chassis grease, whether or not that's going to be enough to shut it up. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'm just going to demonstrate the culprit. See it? Every time it moves, it squeaks. So I'm going to do the best I can for it. Hopefully a little dollop of grease will do it. Well, folks, the old-fashioned grease in the axle doesn't seem to work. However, I'm going to let it sit for a while and try it again before coming to the verdict of when buying a wah, buy a new wah. That way, if it starts squeaking, you can return it because it's defective. However, this thing's really old and worn, and it started squeaking and it hasn't stopped. So I've tried WD-40, I've tried now some axle grease, which is a lot thicker, and still doesn't seem to matter. So I'm going to give this another try in 24 hours, and if it hasn't resolved it by then, it's going to be dans la poubelle for this one, otherwise known as in the garbage, because that's where it belongs. I cannot have a squeaky wah while trying to play at a low volume. It just defeats the purpose. Okay, now as far as the TE40TBK, it is now way lower, the action, and I had to bring the bridge one turn back up, and it seems to be holding tune fine for now. So, as they say, be happy, folks. We'll see you next time. Simply be happy.